Alright, welcome to part 2 to the top 10 best Disney movies. We are now doing the top 5 worst.
Did I say movies?
You said movies.
And I didn't want to stop.
I was like, I don't think I...
Rides. Top 5 worst Disneyland rides. And we decided to look sophisticated for this because we are real reviewers this time. I should button this button because I feel like this is like Austin Powers.
I almost did like the top one, right? Like, oh god.
I mean, we gotta make money, right?
Alright guys, so my least favorite ride is...
And then this one is like, I mean,
Hey.
if it's not cool, I don't even know.
You
if
know.
What's your favorite ride? Whatever one of the ladies are on. So yeah, alright. We're just doing worst 5. That'll be fair. We love pretty much all the Disney rides for the most part.
No.
Huh?
A lot of,
That's
let
not
me.
There are these ones I really don't like. These rides.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say
I
this.
really have. If they were to be burnt down tomorrow, I'd be okay with it.
All right.
Yeah, mine. A lot of mine have traumatic experiences on them. So
all mine are
that's
traumatic
why.
experiences. You know, let's get this started. I'm so hyped for this one. Number 5, and I'm starting off so aggressive. My whole list is going to be aggressive, minus one ride that I think most people could agree with. I need to do not look at my board, Victor, at any points, because I feel like that is.
You guys don't know this, but he actually told me that if I do keep looking at his board, he's gonna kick me off of these shows. Oh, fuck! I looked. Okay.
I tried to be cool like Victor and draw a design. I don't know if my design worked well.
They can be
I feel like
At
the end of the game, my board always looks like a mess. So.
Oh yeah, the last one you were in cursive.
That makes a lot of
Are we ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Hey.
Splash
Whoa.
Mountain at number 5.
I mean, but we talked about it, and I understand
We kind
why.
if you haven't seen the top 10 best Disney rides,
right here.
Click. Okay, that's where we're gonna put
I'm
the
looking
button.
it up.
I
We're
don't
gonna
have
put
it
it right
already.
And
there.
now I'm gonna make it really hard for him to edit.
It's a card. It's just like a card button.
Did you think he was gonna
Yeah,
he'd
he
be
I thought he was
holding
gonna
it?
like CGI some shit in my hand.
Oh,
I'll put something there.
Okay then.
Splash Mountain for me when I first wrote it. So
Explain yourself.
I will
child.
say I have two things. We've kind of talked about this a little bit. I'm not a water person in general. I'm really heavily not a water person. There's only one main ride that is a must ride for me all times. That is Jurassic Park, which has now been turned to Jurassic World, which has dropped a little bit for me just because the nostalgia of Jurassic Park. But when it comes to Splash Mountain, again, I will say this story quickly because it's already in the first video. When I first wrote it at the age of 16 years old, I went on that ride and I was like, something's up with these this is something about black people. I can feel it. And then I just sit I feel like the whole ride. This is my example of how people ride Splash Mountain. Oh, that drop is coming. Oh man, we gonna drop. Oh, mini drop. Oh man, we gonna drop. And they singing. Hey, we did it! The drop is what people build up for, but it's just everything around the ride. I was just like, something's not right for me. So that's the only reason why it's number 5. The build. The drop is a great drop.
All that to say that hopefully in the near future it will be.
Oh, it's gonna be.
It'll drop from this list. Do you know? Because
I see what he did.
I don't.
So we got
You do.
Finding Nemo. That's a
that's a very perfect. Because I just claustrophobic. It's a thing
Makes
that I
sense.
kind of feel, and the smell. I hate the smell in there. The sea. It feels like I'm gonna drown any minute, and so I'm just not about it. I get it. I understand the people that grew up with 1,000 Leagues Under the Sea or whatever it used to be, but I just can't get behind it.
I will say, the first time I rode Finding Nemo, everybody was like, "Why do you ride that ride?" Because I've done it 3 times. I enjoy it. The reason why I enjoyed it, I've never rode on it to capacity. It's always
it's a different
that's
experience.
nice.
It always
Yeah.
looked
Those seats are full.
when I first rode Finding Nemo, I was like, "Is there COVID or is everyone social distancing?" Because it was so empty.
And this was 3 years ago.
But mind you, it might have been 4 years. But mind you, the seats are so close that I get it because you sit there and if your elbows do this, you're hitting someone. It's literally sorry.
Well, it's just the little pin, the holes that you're
it's so
the
small.
portholes or whatever. Just
it's definitely a cute. I think the ride
And
was made for parents to sit out and watch their children go in.
But
Hey,
if
Timmy,
there was an
Dylan is in
emergency,
close submarine for 2 hours.
if there's an emergency, I feel like it takes
So
like a
long.
half hour to unload that submarine. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's like
We have to get back to the dock.
and then there's one little like hole that everybody's trying to like climb through.
In an emergency, this is how fast it gets back to its emergency exit right here. That's the Finding Nemo submarine moving
It's
to
a
the
full capacity.
Apparently, though, for a big portion of the ride, it's not actually underwater.
No.
It really is only
No.
underwater. I think for like the part that you see, the rest of it actually comes above. I think
I
like
can-
once it
I
crosses
can
into like
believe
the
that.
waterfall or whatever, I think
Yeah.
it's all above again.
Yeah.
This is the part when like the real Disney fans comment incorrect because
Yeah, I know.
actually
And like I think I
52%
kind of
of
know,
the time.
I'm not detailed.
Everybody
oriented
knows
in my
that.
facts.
And then we have Mr. Toad's
Why?
Wild Ride.
I had such high expectations for this ride.
Really?
I waited for fucking ever for this ride. I went on it, got super sick, and I think just the unfortunate series of events leading up to this ride just
Okay.
fucked it up for me.
Expectations, I get that.
And now I look at it and I'm like, nah, I'm good. Which
See-
is such a bummer.
See, Mr. Toad's is a ride that, and I'm so glad it at least showed up in the video because it's a ride that literally is about drunk driving.
Yeah.
The Toad like literally gets into a drunk accident, dies, goes to hell.
Spoiler alert.
Wow. I mean, so there's not a life lesson in there somewhere, you
It's
know,
true.
like.
It's
It's a dark
too close to
ride.
home.
It's a very
It's a
yeah.
dark
That's
ride.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that later.
Oh,
Let's go with number 4.
numero.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I tried to make my list something that everyone understands, but trust me when I tell you, my list is very much so my opinion because I think all of my rides are classics. Bum bum bum.
I don't get
I
it.
think I was super on pitch there for that. Yeah,
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. You guys go first. I don't even need you to see mine yet. You guys go
What
first.
did you say? Milk tea?
They can
Matterhorn.
see. Whoa!
Damn,
Nice.
Damn.
Pirates.
What?
Hey! Oh shit!
Of the Caribbean. And it's one reason why. It's the only reason why.
What?
Because technically, I kind of like pirates, but the reason why I don't like it, no matter if I go in the beginning of the day, middle of the day, or end of the day, it switches your whole mood and atmosphere of what's happening. Remember, your guys' reasons for why you like it is because it's the perfect time to sit in and watch a beer.
Yeah,
You
it's a
love
break.
that. Yeah, for me, it just... If I go earlier on in the day, I feel sleepy for the rest of the day, and it's going to take me 2 or 3 rides to get me back in the Disney
Really?
mood. If I go midday, it slows me down. Now I don't want to do the big rides. And if I go towards the end of the day,
See, I don't feel that
if
at
the
all.
sun
I
is
feel like it's a
setting,
perfect like
Yeah,
nap.
it's
It's like
the
that
best.
20-minute nap, you
Yeah.
know. That
well,
just like
but my thing is,
recharges you.
is a ride supposed to do that? That's another reason.
Maybe not all
But that's the
rides are
Disney
supposed to
thing,
be
though.
like
I'm sure there's
thrilling.
something that you ride that like helps like kind of like
Well, no,
get you recharged, right?
I
Or-
love The Little Mermaid.
That's
That's
that's a
recharge
slow ride.
That's
It's a super recharge ride.
That's one of those.
That's a
like,
hard
No,
to
no. But what I'm saying is, what you guys were saying though is that not every ride is supposed to be a thrilling, and I'm like, Little Mermaid isn't thrilling, and that made my
That's fair.
right best. Click the
Good point.
card.
Spoiler.
What? So Matterhorn. Let's talk about this though, because
It hurts.
that
It
Matterhorn
just
was on my
hurts.
best list. We didn't actually talk about it either,
Yeah.
which is surprising. But because it hurts, right? And I
It
get
hurts.
it. I understand it.
I loved it until I grew up,
understand it.
and
Yeah.
rides weren't that ride wasn't for me anymore.
I
and
think-
it just started hurting, and I just hate it now.
I think it just like, it does hurt. You're not wrong. But I still, I think there's something like the in Disney World, whatever the Everest ride is. Like
Mhm.
there's something about like a bobsled style, like through the
Yeah.
mountains
Disney,
ride.
if you could sponsor
I
us and take us
absolutely love.
to Florida, that'd be dope.
See,
I
we
haven't
can
been.
review it.
So, fun fact about Matterhorn for me, it didn't make. I mean, I guess a spoiler for the other video. It didn't make my best or my worst list, and the reason being is because if it was going to go anywhere on my list, it'd probably go more so on my worst.
Yeah,
But the
and-
first
yeah.
time I wrote it, it kind of
It's
why
predictable.
it's in the middle. It wasn't predictable. I didn't know there was going to be a freaking abominable snowman or the.
They
When I first
wanted-
wrote it,
yeah,
I
yeah.
sat there and I went,
No,
"What the heck?" Like it literally did that to me, and I went,
No, totally.
"Is this what this ride is for
Did
real?"
you see it before the new one? Because they updated the Abominable Snowman a couple years back.
Yeah,
And
I did see
it made it more terrifying, which is
Yeah.
the whole
I
thing.
saw it
Yeah.
before and after.
because I think
And
before
it's
and
definitely-
Disney nerds.
I
please
meant the
correct me.
predictability though about like it being on the because I feel like it's on most people's worst list if it's gonna make a list because a lot of people hate how painful it
Dude,
is.
that's well. So when I did it before, it was me going, I don't know how I feel about the. Oh my gosh! And then when I saw it
What
after, I was just like, this feels really good. Oh, I forgot about you. Just like, yeah.
I get it. I really do, but what a good time.
So that's my Matterhorn thing.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And then, Monsters Inc. is my yeah, that's right.
You are a garbage person.
That's right.
I love Monsters Inc.
Everybody, and I don't. Look, first of all, it was never supposed to be Monsters Inc. It was a rehash from the Hollywood limousine ride or whatever that is. Or
Okay, well, they did a great job with
I thought they did a terrible job with it. There's virtually none of the characters actually do anything. The animatronics are the most boring. Like literally they just move like this. There's no real animatronic creativity to it. It's literally just a skin on top of the former ride, and it's boring. It's God.
So thank you. So let's talk about for the real Monsters Inc. people that are here right now. If you think about the whole final sequence in Monsters Inc. of just chasing Boo down.
The
purpose of the ride, and plus on top of it, they play with their lighting and the fact that you're hearing the characters and the music, even though you're moving slow on this dark ride of sorts. Dude, it's really, I feel like I'm in it. When you go to the room of the doors,
the two cool things that I will say is the room with the doors, 100%. The way they use those mirrors and everything is absolutely stellar. And then the very end, what's her face?
Roz. You don't even know her name. You don't even know Roz's name. That's
why. You don't know Roz's name.
He said at the end with what's her name? That's what he said.
I also is that new? Have I ever proved myself to know character names?
True, fair. Yeah, I'm just saying Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. isn't my favorite as far as those continual rides. I forgot the name of it. The rides that just continue.
Dark rides.
Yeah, but because I love Winnie the Pooh. I think Winnie the Pooh is so you go through the dream sequence really dope. Alice in Wonderland. I will say
also made my worst. It didn't, but it almost made my.
Winnie the Pooh is really. So my thing is,
love Winnie the Pooh as well.
Here's my thing. Alice in Wonderland is my least favorite. But there's a good reason though, because I feel like you go in the ride and then you're outside and I'm like, why am I looking? And then you go back in.
Yeah,
and I'm like that.
That's why I didn't spoil it. It didn't make it to none of my lists because here's the thing. I do love going on it because I love the Alice in Wonderland.
It's
story.
Also, Victor, you keep saying spoiler. I would imagine anybody watching this video is more than likely ridden these rides.
I know, but
I don't think anybody's
our target demo is kids on TikTok. Okay, that's a
Jordan's gonna edit this into a 15-second or however long it's TikTok somehow.
What's your top 5 rides list? Just showing the list. That's it. But no, it's that Alice in Wonderland. You go out and I'm like, dude, I was in it.
Yeah.
And now I gotta get.
I've only ridden Alice in, I think once.
I love Alice in Wonderland.
On that note, can we continue?
Yeah,
because I do have no. There's a reason why. We'll see in a second. I'm just foreshadowing everything right now. Also, our talks are bringing us into my next one, which is so great, and I love this. All right, is everybody good?
Ready?
Let's find out.
Okay.
A one. That's the voice.
A one.
A two. A three. I like that we need to. What did you put?
Hey, Finding Nemo, yes!
Finding Nemo.
Teacups. It's the Goofy's high school.
Goofy's high school.
Yep.
Okay, here's my thought. Before you even talk about it, I put teacups. That's stupid. I have traumatic experience.
Teacups,
so here's my thing with Goofy's high school. At first I didn't like it, and then because I didn't know what it was, I didn't know the name. Yeah. I wasn't reading it. I was just walking in the line, and then I realized this was Goofy's Sky School. I was like, dude. It makes sense. It fits Goofy's personality. You're all over the place.
No, yeah, it's on brand.
I was like, that's so dope.
Yeah, of course it's on brand, but
and it's a kid's ride, so
no, but
on
it's
brand
not,
and kids ride. It feels great.
Speaking about Matterhorn being painful, I feel like that kind of ride is so painful to me, and I just it doesn't feel like a kid's ride either. It feels aggressive and intense.
Oh, okay.
And I know what you mean. Themey and Goofy being wily and all over the place makes sense, but it's painful to me.
Yeah, it's one of those. They're called mouse coasters or something.
Yeah, they have a name. You're right. You're absolutely. It's like Dark Rides.
I think they're called mouse. I think they're called mouse coasters.
Mouse coasters.
Mouse. That's what I thought.
How do you say that?
I think they're
Mau, like Maui, but like Mau.
Yeah.
Maui.
Mousa coaster.
Because the E is there's some E's that are silent, but this one is there.
So Mousa coaster.
So the thing you guys said. They're like
a dark ride.
They're like cheap. Any festival can buy one, So, but Disney was like, let's go ahead and I guess just paint it and make it look like Goofy. So, I don't know. To me,
Yeah,
it does feel like I come to Disney for different experiences. I don't want to
Yeah,
go.
and Disney in
say
Orlando has like a primeval one as well. It's
I will
it's
say
the
though,
same thing.
to the point Victor made. I disagree with that one statement of it's something. No, this is why. Because when you say it's something that they can put at a carnival, Goofy Sky School is mind you, this ride that I'm about to mention right now didn't make my list, even though it's like I don't like that it's at Disney because that's the most basic. It's the carousel. So for me, I feel like the carousel is like they did a carnival ride. And for me, I'm just like,
to be fair, so where in the main park?
There's two.
Yeah, in the main park.
Oh,
the one behind the castle. Because for me,
but that goes with that area, though.
Well, and to be fair, guys, you're also forgetting though that this is the pier. All of this also fits in that theming of Carnival rides.
But it's just a bummer.
Like the Zephyr, and the swinging.
Yeah, that's why for me, I don't like the.
Yeah, it's all Carnival rides, so it does match on brand there as well.
But like it's Disney. I kind of, I don't know. I want to get on things that I
same,
experience.
But you can experience the carousel everywhere.
Yeah. If there's a difference about being like that's a fucking like that's Sleeping Beauty's castle.
I do have good memories about the carousel, to be honest.
I never go on. I
have really great memories of the carousel.
Yeah, and it's iconic. And then it's in front of the King Arthur sword.
Yeah,
it's like perfect.
There's a photo of me with like hair longer than it is now, like
nice.
Here of me in like a tie-dye shirt. And like Mickey and like trying to pull the sword out, being like a badass like 10-year-old or whatever.
So you said hair longer than Kiss. Yeah, I've seen
yeah.
My favorite memory of the carousel is going. What's the ride behind it? Favorite memory of the carousel. I always have to go around the circle. Well, I don't ride it.
Clearly,
it should be on my list.
10-year-old.
I didn't even get to my thing.
Oh my gosh, we never said.
No.
Finding Nemo.
The first time I went on it, I was so enthralled by Finding Nemo that I think I forced myself to enjoy it. I thought it was I thought the hole was really small, and if you're like a bigger person, you kind of have to like squint into it. The second time I went on it, my friend had an actual anxiety attack in it. Oh. And imagine, and that ride is like 10 minutes long. And imagine trying to like calm your friend, being like, "Hey, this thing has like 7 minutes left.
Yeah,
I'm so fucking sorry.
That's not fun.
We're never going on this ever." And because of that reason, now I'm like, I know why he had fucking act. I was like, fucking. I was like, what? Stop being a bitch. Oh shit, you're like hyperventilating.
Like literally.
But that's why I won't go on Finding Nemo. But I do love them.
Okay, guys. Número dos. I almost want to do a combo.
We also didn't really hear your teacup story, by the way, and I'm curious.
Oh my gosh, we literally skipped okay.
I just didn't want to keep hearing about whatever you guys were talking about. So
we were talking about your ride.
It was my fault.
Talking about your ride, and then also
you were like
the
my
monsters.
Oh yeah, they were criticizing it.
Remember the time?
I was like a boy band.
Remember the time I was like in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and my hair was like.
Remember when I was Zero Direction?
My team references from like by the time I was in college.
Okay. I mean, I watched Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
I love Sweet Life.
Teacup story. As I haven't even written my number 2 yet. I literally haven't.
I have.
So my teacup story is first time I rode on it, right? Mm-hmm. And me in general, and I don't know, you might have this, but I wear glasses. All that motion stuff was a lot. Perfect. And the first time I rode teacups. I remember I said, "Hey, I just want to ride this. I'll ride it," because there's a group of us. It was for a friend's birthday. And I was like, "Hey, I'll ride it. Just let me ride with one of the kids." And then these two, I don't cuss often, at least on these shows. But these two grown-ass men said, "No, we want to ride with you, Jordan." They spun that teacup so hard. This was in the afternoon, mind you, like late afternoon. Oh, no. I was done with Disney the rest of the day because I was so dizzy. Because they got, I have to do the visual. They got on the wheel. This is how you know it was going to be aggressive. Anytime you see, like, this is how you start on the wheel, and then you do this. They started like this.
Yeah, they were just going.
They literally was like, "Jordan, you ready?" And I never prayed so quick. And they just let it go, and I was like, got off. I could not ride another ride.
I do not get motion sickness at all, and so like when I do teacups, that's how I do it. I go hard. If you're gonna do it, you gotta go hard. What's the point?
Give me I said earlier. I said, "Hey, just let me ride with the younger ones, the nephews, the nieces." But nope.
Nah.
Hey, Jordan, you go ride with us? I guess so, because everybody else went with everybody else. Oh, and it was 2 of them. It's not just one. They both twisted.
I love the teacups. I do.
That is very dramatic. I'm gonna go
teacups guy.
I'm gonna make this one.
List, aren't they?
No, because I did hit this later. Here we go. Ready?
Teacups.
3, 2, 1.
Hey.
We've spoken about it before, but Mr. Toads
Yay,
Mr.
Mr.
Toads.
is
Wow.
number 2. This
That's
is why.
wild.
This is why it's number
I mean,
2.
I knew it.
Another traumatic-ish kind of a moment. Just to recap. First time I went to Disney was 16 years old. A lot of rides I've been introduced to recently. Love Peter Pan. I rode that probably 2 years ago. Mr. Toads, the same time I tried out Peter Pan for the first time, I was like, let me just hit all these Fantasyland rides.
Sure, yeah.
Mr. Toads, when I got off that ride, I had to contemplate if I was at Disneyland.
Yeah, right. It's such a
I
different...
sat there and went, this is not something that I feel is Disney magic.
No way.
I sat there, because I was sitting there, I got off, so this was me coming into the end of Mr. Toads. I went, what am I watching? Are we in hell? And then I went, well, how is this going to end? What do you mean get off? No, we missing the part where Jesus comes back.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like we just ended, and I'm looking at the line, and all these kids like, Daddy, I can't wait to go next.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know
And
what?
you're grabbing and
You're going straight. You're literally going down.
Then the other, I'll let you guys do yours, and I'll tell you the one that I was fighting with.
Now you brought up
You
so
see?
many more bad memories that I kind of wish I could have moved my
Mr. Toads.
Yeah,
You put Casey Jr.
I did because I got stuck in the cage one time.
Oh yeah.
What's Casey? I don't know what Casey Jr. is. Which
It's
one's
like
that
a
one?
little train,
Mhm.
and some of the carts are open.
Oh,
and some
I
of them are
know.
cages,
Yeah, I know.
And it
exactly.
wouldn't fucking open. The ride operator was like, "This hasn't happened before." And I'm like,
Yeah, that's.
let me the fuck out!
deserves-
And my cousin's like, "We're gonna die in here," and I was like,
Oh.
"Stop!" I was like little, and I was like,
Yeah, that's
traumatizing.
that would be.
I don't think I've
number 2.
ever ridden that ride. I know which one you're talking about, but I've never been.
I
on
mean,
it.
I was like 27, but
Yeah.
This was
That
literally
tracks.
right
This was like
before
a
That
quarantine
tracks.
started.
Autopia.
Yes, yeah, I
Come
was
on.
debating, but then there's-
Autopia has to be on this list.
Okay, explain it, and then I'll explain why I don't think it
Because
should be on
what
the list.
is this ride? It's like this janky ass like
it's so
like
good,
it
though.
doesn't go very fast. It doesn't really
Not at
go
all.
anywhere. It kind of just
Really
goes in a loop.
It
Okay.
does.
Can I tell
It's the
you?
worst.
Can I
It's
tell
terrible.
you? This is why
It's
I don't think.
clunky. Like every turn is like
You just have
no, I don't want to hear your.
I've tried driving it
Yeah,
like a
like
good
try and be
driver,
good at
and
driving
it's still
it.
like, no, dude, we are not turning.
Like you can't.
we're going straight.
Alright,
Why
fine,
is my car
fine,
stuck?
fine.
Okay, this is the only
Fine.
reason. You guys made very bad. I'm not. Here's what I think. I'm not even arguing your points. My point is completely out of left field.
And the emissions
First
that
job,
come up.
first job I worked at was Ride Makers, which is Build-A-Bear's brother sister store. You get to build remote control cars. The number one topic that you would only hear the kids say upon coming in, I got my driver's license at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
watch, when you look at the ride, I think I don't ever say a kid's ride is just for kids, but Autopia
Yeah.
is purely for children to say, I got my driver's license
Yeah.
at
But you
Disneyland.
know, for
I
what
remember-
else? But you know what? For when you ask your parents, "Can I get the photo taken?" They're like, "Get the fuck your stroller,
No,
you dumb
I'm not
bitch."
giving you. I'm not buying a $15 fake ass driver's license
Go
photo.
get in line and get another one. But we're not getting a fucking photo.
We already
You
waited
want-
in line like the
You
DMV.
want your
We're not
driver's
waiting.
license? Here you go, son. There you go. Take daddies around.
This is a bill for registration, insurance, and dumb.
Oh,
That's
my God.
$300 a month.
Oh, and then
No, I
here's your card.
did the Legoland driver's license when I was a kid. Believe it or not.
Jeez.
So, and I remember having that same
Legoland
excitement,
was a good
being
one.
like,
It's-
Yeah.
I got my driver's license at Legoland, so I.
And you
get it.
kept. I remember
Yeah.
you kept it in your
Damn.
wallet, and you would just pray that you're
Holding on to it, though.
And that's the reason why for me, Autopia, which I used to always call it Autotopia.
It's
I was like,
not?
that's what I see.
It's
Do you know
Autopia.
how bad I wanted to like?
Correct.
That's Autopia.
I think Autopia's number 2.
Well, auto. Yeah, I was gonna be
Auto.
like, I'm like, well, I like auto.
I always
Wait, maybe it is.
no, I think it actually is
Yeah,
Autopia.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, I can't believe there's an error at Disney. They misspelled this, and ain't nobody gonna fix it. And then when you hear it, you're like, okay.
No,
But yeah,
I was just
definitely kids.
So it's not like, is it like the Berenstein's? What is it?
Berenstein Bears.
The Berenstein, like
I
the
feel like it.
what is it? Berenstein versus Berenstein.
Berenstein. Oh,
Berenstain versus Berenstein.
I thought it was Berenstein
versus Berestini.
Yeah, it's Berestini. That's one that I thought it was. Berestini.
Berestoni.
The Berestoni Bear. Hey.
I want to throw one honorable mention of. I don't think it's the worst ride. It's actually a fantastic ride that never made any of ours.
I'm sorry.
The tram from the parking garage.
I was gonna ask you. I'm like, cause that tram from the parking garage. I'm not gonna lie.
Please keep all your hands inside.
That would be my number one because when you get on that tram, you're like, I'm going to Magic, bro.
It's so
I'm going
good.
to Magic, bro. And then when you leave, you're like, I experienced Magic.
Magic, bro. It's true. It really is like the most nostalgic part of fucking Disney.
And it's free.
Or when you work
it is
there.
free, but you do have to park though. To be fair.
Or when you work at
like
Disney.
$20.
If you work at Disney and you go to the park to play, you have to park in Mickey and Friends, and that's a different experience because you're like, I could get there so much quicker if I could just park in employee parking.
I could have been there
Oh,
yesterday.
sure.
They're like, oh, how do we get? Let's go to Mickey and Friends. Yeah. When you work there, it's not
like Universal where they're like, oh no, you're gonna go against the guests walking into the park.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's so I'm very excited for all of the stories for our number one.
Oh no. Okay.
And I have stories for days. I mean, for days on my number one. I'm already hiding it because Victor.
He's already trying to snake his.
Well, this is Victor doesn't do it on purpose. Like, keep your board like that. This is what Victor does. He goes, I'm ready. Oh no! He literally turns his head to say, I'm ready,
Like,
and then his eyes look over.
I get so excited. I'm like, damn, I fucked up. All right,
Here we go. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after Dude, okay, let's just talk about this.
This ride needs to burn.
The first time I saw that ride, and I just saw this, and all the faces looked like, dude, I sit there and I go, Chucky's in here somewhere. I don't know where he is.
Literally.
And they were just like, look at
Small world
that's
in
hell.
hell.
They were like, that's Mulan. Oh, those are, look at, now we're in another one. I said, I don't care where we are. These toys are alive and they're murderous.
Nah, it's
Nightmares.
terrifying. It's awful.
Nightmares.
It's just what is this ride? Look, I get it for the '60s, I suppose, but
He literally put the boss's ride?
oh, Mickey's Fun Wheel, just
the swinging.
the gondolas.
Yeah.
Oh.
I went on it as
you baby.
No, I went on it as a fully grown man.
I will say it is
And
traumatizing.
at first
I
you're
love
like,
that
this is
ride.
fun. And then after
No,
like
it's
the
terrifying.
25th,
It's
when you're like,
terrifying, no.
Jesus Christ. Like when you get to the apex where you're like, it is, you're like, oh yeah.
It
But-
does just keep going.
Yeah,
though, and
but
you're
it
like,
keeps going.
holy
And then at
hell.
that point you're like, dude, like my breakfast has shifted so
Yeah,
much.
Correct me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Because I think we might be on the same. I think the ride would be much more fun if they had a more efficient way of getting people off. Because like you're like, I'm going on the ride, and then you stop like this.
Yeah,
And then you go, and then you stop again, and you're like, now my head hurts.
Yeah.
Stomach, is it okay?
Yeah.
Because they take each guest off and they stop the fucking thing.
See, I
like
forgot
in
about
like
the
carnivals,
loading process.
like a lot of smaller Ferris wheels, it just keeps going and you walk off, right?
Right.
But this one, you have to. I'll give you that.
Get on.
That was a pain in the
I think you
ass.
only get what, like 1 or 2. You get
Two
two
good- two
good
rotations.
rotations,
Two
but you
rotations.
get 3 hours of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I've gone on like the normal ones, and I'm like, all right.
Because you get to see
Yeah.
the whole.
It's beautiful.
So great. Like my thing.
Like
is,
I don't have to keep grabbing my bag every 2 seconds.
The
Like,
reason why, because this is kind of a contradictory statement, because I said the carousel you can do that anywhere,
Yeah.
but the fun
But
wheel,
this-
Mickey's Fun
yeah,
Wheel,
but this,
it's for me because the carousel you get to see the castle and all that, but for some reason for me the Fun Wheel, once you get to the top,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
and then you can see the
It really is.
all
that
the
Disney
landscape.
isn't real.
You go to the top and you go.
Okay.
These are the lists. We're very hot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Physically.
We talked about Soarin', though.
Oh, we did talk about Soarin'. Soarin' over California. The story I said was it's great. I thought it was cool.
California's
And then
better, though.
Over the World was like,
Yeah.
and then they brought back
And then-
California, and you were like, yes.
Mhm.
But overall, Small World is creepy.
You want to move Mr. Toad's up?
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I haven't changed it. Well, no, I've receded Autopia.
Autopia receded.
Yeah.
I'd rather go on, like, if you gun to the head.
Yeah.
And we're like, you either gotta go on Matterhorn or Mr. Toad's.
You Matterhorn.
Or anything, like, I feel like Finding Nemo will move up. I feel like Mr. Toad's would move up a lot. Because I'd rather go on, like, Matterhorn than go on Finding Nemo.
Especially
Yeah, 100%.
I'd rather go on, honestly, Matterhorn than Mr. Toad's. Because I'm just gonna come out with a fucking smoking cigarette.
Like, Matterhorn
is a problem.
Mm.
You know?
Matterhorn is actually my number 6.
So, like, this wouldn't move around. Like, I would have to take, like, a day.
I mean, I get it.
Feel good.
I get it. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Vice President, speak.
I was just referring to the host.
Get that fly off your
sorry.
head. I don't know why I
No, I would have noticed if I was the VP. I'd be dead
So, this is my list, because we're going to get air. Alex's list, his list. There's one factual list.
And remember to click here to receive $500 from Jordan.
In Monopoly money.
Right.
Subscribe.
There.
Where's the subscribe button?
It's right here, I'm holding it.
Yeah, holding it now.
But I'm gonna be an asshole, so I'm gonna do this. So like he has.
I don't think that. I think that part was in the beginning of the video.
There was.
I think they.
It really was. Hey, I like how we come up with new jokes. Oh!
All right,
That was it.
Bumper.
That was